Why is Phasma so dumb routine when all of a sudden something clicked, and I think I might have figured out why Captain Phasma appears so lame. Sorry once again guys, Ben is still sick. He is doing much better, but you get me again for this week. And it's great because now Ben just owes me half a month's worth of videos. Oh, Captain Phasma, I had such high hopes for you going into this movie. I think we all did. A giant chrome-plated cape-wearing commander stormtrooper who's the first female villain in a Star Wars movie? Yes, please? And she's being played by Gwendolyn Christie, aka Game of Thrones fan favorite Brienne of Tarth? Is it my birthday? No, it's not, because she's totally lame. I mean, why get such an awesome actress to play this part if one, you're not even gonna show her face, and two, you're not even gonna give her anything cool to do? Like, seriously, here's a list of everything Phasma does in the movie. At the beginning, she orders some troops to kill the villagers. Sort of, we'll get back to that. She lets a very important prisoner, Poe, escape. She stands behind General Hux during his whole Nazi First Order speech. And last but certainly not least, she lowers the shields on Starkiller Base. I mean, whose side is she even on? And that's what it hit me, Ben. Whose side is she on? Seriously, almost everything she does in the movie ends up helping the resistance. Even everything she says when you like rewatch the movie through this lens can be interpreted as like a warning or a hint. And since I gave her such precious little screen time, this won't even take us that long to cover literally everything she says and does. When we first meet her, she approaches Kylo Ren after he finishes interrogating Poe and asks, "So, the villagers?" And he says kill them, so then she has to order her troops to do accordingly. Which doesn't sound good for the case I'm making, but here's the thing. Why does she even ask? Right when the stormtroopers exit the ships, they are guns ablaze. They are shooting everything in sight. I mean, I guess technically they're looking for the old man, but they don't seem to have a problem shooting and killing everyone else, which honestly makes sense because this is obviously a resistance camp. Why would you leave anyone alive, especially if you are the dark side of the force-powered First Order? So again, why does she ask? Because it forces a choice to be made. It opens the door for Kylo Ren to say something like, "Leave them, they're of no concern to me," or something like that. Of course he doesn't, he says kill them, and then obviously she has to follow through on the orders. But the fact that she asks is unusual. Next, we see her confront Finn when he takes his helmet off.
"And who gave you permission to remove that helmet?"
It sounds like she's coming down on him. But if she actually is trying to help the resistance, this could be her identifying a potential ally, and she's actually giving him a very sly warning, like, "Hey, put your helmet back on before anybody notices." In fact, the very next thing she says to him is,
"Report to my division at once."
AKA, I might be able to use this guy. Later, she tells General Hux,
"FN 2187 reported to my division, was evaluated and sent to reconditioning."
Yeah, that's what she says, but what does Finn go and actually do?
"This is a rescue. I'm helping you escape."
Reconditioned indeed. Although I do suppose it's worth noting that if she is good, she definitely does not reveal it to Finn, who is completely unaware of it later in the movie when he suggests they throw it down the trash compactor. But honestly, Finn is just sort of an unaware guy all around, so.
Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? I'm trying to come up with a plan.
But again, if she is undercover, she's very sly, so she could have given Finn the opportunity to free Poe without him even realizing it. For example, the moment Finn and Poe steal the TIE fighter, the officers realize that TIE fighter is not supposed to be in the air, and before asking any questions, they just start ordering people to shoot it down. They don't even check with the pilot, who at this point they have to assume is one of their own because they don't realize Poe has escaped yet. They're not like checking, "Hey, do you have orders from someone else?" No, that's how strict the First Order is. The moment something unauthorized happens, boom, shoot first, ask questions later. And yet, they don't bat an eyelash at the unauthorized transfer of an extremely important prisoner. Nope. I'm sorry, Finn, whether he realizes it or not, whether it was Phasma or somebody else, somebody helped him get Poe out of that cell. Moving on though, the next time we see Phasma do anything besides just standing there is back on Starkiller Base when she's tackled by Chewie, Han, and Finn. They then force her to lower the shields with Finn saying,
"Want me to blast that bucket off your head? Lower the shields."
And just listen to her response.
You're making a big mistake.
But what is that mistake? I mean, we're supposed to think that she's saying Finn has made a mistake by turning against the First Order and that he will suffer for it. But he did just threaten to kill her, so she could also mean, don't do it. You're making a big mistake not realizing I'm not your enemy. And then she commits her biggest offense of all when, after putting up no fight whatsoever, she actually lowers the shields on Starkiller Base. This makes no sense. Like, what is her reasoning? If I lower the shields, they will destroy Starkiller Base and I will die. But if I don't lower the shields, they won't destroy Starkiller Base and I will still probably die. Honestly, she has a better chance of surviving if she doesn't lower the shields, because despite them having a gun to her head, if they do shoot her, they have absolutely no way of lowering the shields. I can't imagine Finn actually pulling the trigger here, but imagining that he did, imagining that she knows for certain she's going to die, then why doesn't she just sacrifice herself in order to save the First Order and Starkiller Base? Like, I know bad guys aren't typically the sacrifice yourself for the cause kind of people, but this is still pretty easy math. Either I die and the base survives, or I die and the base is destroyed. In fact, here is a canon quote from her from the book before the Awakening. A real stormtrooper has no room for sympathy. A real stormtrooper is the extension of the First Order, of Supreme Leader Snoke's will. Nothing less. So what was she thinking? I mean, the only thing that really makes sense is if she wanted Starkiller Base to be destroyed. And it doesn't end there. Listen to her final words of the movie.
You can't be so stupid as to think this will be easy. My troops will storm this block and kill you all.
It sounds like a threat, but why would she tell them this? It's because it's not a threat. It's a warning. Like, hey idiots, don't just go out there guns blazing. Be careful. This is going to be hard. My troopers are literally everywhere. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And then after all of her noble efforts, they throw her in the trash compactor. Also, side note, just throwing this out here, the last time we saw a stormtrooper in a trash compactor, it was also good guys in disguise. But so what, right? I mean, if she was a good guy, then why wouldn't they have revealed it to us before she blew up on Starkiller Base? Because she did not blow up. Captain Phasma has been confirmed for episode 8. So we will just have to wait and see what side she's truly on. And if you're still doubting this, just remember, it wouldn't exactly be the first time someone in Star Wars had a dual identity. It is a pretty common theme. Anakin and Vader, Obi-Wan and Old Ben, Ben Solo and Kylo Ren, Palpatine and Sidious, Padme and her body doubles, the entire clone army, and soon to be Captain Phasma. So Ben, my question for you and everyone else is, what do you think? Could Captain Phasma actually be a deep undercover agent working for the Resistance? Let me know your thoughts in the towel section down below. Guys, thanks for watching. As always, please remember to like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe so you don't miss any future Star Wars content from us. If you want to see how Jar Jar Binks could have also been an undercover evil agent, you can click this video right here, or if you want to see